Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at the O Arena at Oakland University for BCAM, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. We've had a great day so far. Hall of Fame Coach Tom Izzo just addressed the audience for more than an hour. Just sat down with Steve Hall. He's a championship coach representing Cass Tech. But the celebrity experience doesn't stop. I got Jenni Beamer representing all the way from Davidson for the American Cancer Society Coaches versus Cancer. And we had a talk offline, and I'm just so excited about the knowledge that I got, the great things you got going on. But let's just open this up to talk about what has this experience been like for you being with the American Cancer Society and Coaches versus Cancer.
Yeah, thank you. I think, being here, this experience translating to really just the organization across the board is that it's about people. It's about people coming together, individuals, teams, right? We say figuratively and literally because we're here with basketball coaches and teams. In the American Cancer Study is a volunteer-driven organization. It's the largest voluntary health organization.
Wow,
and
I didn't know that.
The only way that we can impact the mission, actually change the trajectory of cancer, is through volunteers and people giving of their time, their passions, their talents, their dollars through fundraising. Right, it's the way any change happens.
Right, correct. Having people on the ground like that. One thing I was kind of blown away from when we talked is that your branding is so strong. I think people are very familiar with the American Cancer Society, also with the Coaches versus Cancer. But when you were telling me things about the resources that you provide, talk about things like this 24-hour hotline for anyone who wants to talk. Talk about providing rides for people who need that, and even touching on the health equity issues that come up when we deal with things like that. Talk about those few things for me.
Yeah, you're right. Our brand is like a 98% visibility.
Wow.
But what do we actually do?
Yeah, I know the brand, but I don't know what you do is what people may say.
Right, and it's vast, right? In order to attack cancer, we're going to have to do it, right, we say from every angle, and it's pretty comprehensive. But a few things. So number one, we do have a cancer information line, which you're going to talk to a cancer information specialist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So anytime, if I want to call right now, West Coast, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
Somebody's going to pick up to be able to have any kind of response on my cancer
question. It could be 3 a.m. And I have literally talked to people who have called at 3 a.m. In fact, it's one of our highest times between those hours.
Wow.
And maybe they've been diagnosed. Maybe someone they love has been diagnosed, and they just they can't sleep. They need to talk to someone, and talk to someone that's removed from their situation, right?
Not emotionally engaged in that regard.
So you can talk, and maybe one of the things what we just talked on is transportation. That's actually the highest reason people call us. They don't have a ride to treatment.
Wow.
I know, and we can't. So many people, when they think of the American Cancer Study, what they know about us is we fund research.
The research.
Absolutely true. It's a huge part of how we impact cancer. But also, if we don't address burdens and access to care, we cannot combat this disease. And one of the number one reasons, like I said, people call us is transportation. If they can't get to treatment, what the heck are we going to do?
Exactly.
So we do those through. So a couple of things. People call us to find out, okay, how do I get a ride to treatment? And our answers to that is, number one, we have a volunteer-driven, literally, program where we need volunteers to donate their passenger seat in their vehicle, right? So you could drive a patient to treatment once a month, twice a month, once a week, once every other month, whatever. It's up to you. It's literally an app, like an Uber or a Lyft.
Wow.
So
let me just stay with that for a second. So if I'm someone who has been impacted by cancer, has a passion to help, that's one thing I can do is just providing a ride to somebody, and I can be a resource like that.
It's life-changing.
I understand.
Yeah. And we need, so right now in Michigan, the amount of rides we get requests for, we're unfortunately only able to fulfill 39% of those rides. That's not typical, right? So we're coming out, we're bringing this program back from having to pause it through COVID for health reasons.
Sure.
We need to build back our volunteer base. And, social media messages. I mean, we just came off of talking about Coach Tom Izzo. He's such an advocate for the American Cancer Study. He can, and we've talked to him about doing a PSA. That's going to work, but I think you and I know, and coaches here, it's people asking people. It's one-on-one. Hey, oh, you have some time on your hands? Or, oh, you know someone who might be able to give? Oh, this is an opportunity. This is an actual need. It's real. Yes. Talk to people you know. The highest areas we need people, Wayne County. I mean, Wayne County's huge.
Sure.
However, the city of Detroit. There are so many people in the city of Detroit need rides to treatment. We don't have enough drivers there.
Wow.
Kent County, Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
That's another
You're
higher
talking
area.
about the highest populations in the state.
I mean, of course,
right.
makes sense, right?
Yeah,
With
that's what's
Genesee
happening.
County, we do need more drivers in Flint. We need them everywhere. It really doesn't matter. You're talking rural areas, we need drivers there. So wherever you live in Michigan, holy cow, we need you.
Drivers for cancer, that's something that's going to stick with me, and I want to keep
Thank
that
you.
in mind going forward. What are some other things that are happening with the work that you're doing that's kind of unique to 2023? Because you talked about post-COVID, how things have changed. So what are some things that are very unique to the times right now?
You know, I suppose you said 2023, but I'm also like thinking about, okay, what are we expanding on in 2024? One thing that I think
almost into 2024.
we're almost there.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm pretty excited about right now, and especially talking to some other volunteers that I know. So, number one, when we think about, we're coming on October 1st is tomorrow, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? Which makes me think of the disproportionate way that women are impacted. So, white women, black women, disproportionately affected by breast cancer. Diagnosed at the same rate, the mortality rate is 40% higher if you're a black woman. Not okay.
Not okay.
Why?
Right.
So we as an organization, we've been funding research to try to, just like address all of these things. But one thing that we realized hasn't happened is there has not been, so we are launching this cohort. Science of people and getting people involved. So it's called Voices of Black Women Cohort. We launched it this year in 2 other major cities in other states. It's coming to Michigan in 2024 in Detroit. Our goal overall is to get 100,000 plus black women in this study. Now, in what we found is in studies, there is underrepresentation of black women in studies.
Which impacts the overall research.
Impacts the overall research.
Right.
So we're doing a study that is only for black women.
That's powerful.
And that way, it's literally population research. So studying these individuals from, point 8 through all the different things in their life that happen over the next many, many years to see from an environmental factor, physical, like health, everything.
Wow.
And so I know that sounds, I think maybe to some people that sounds like, oh, okay, what are you going to find out? No, this is big. This has never happened before.
Well, I'm a PhD candidate, so when you talk about research, I'm already understanding the impact, and I think what's important is being able to get some great ambassadors that can overcome some of those cautious type, skeptical aspects as it relates to research in the African American community.
Yes.
But I think one thing that's really positive is the branding that you talked about that the American Cancer Society has. The visibility, people are familiar with it, and saying, hey, when you start talking about those disparities between African American women and white women, and then you get to the mortality part, that's going to be important. I want to pledge publicly how SPS can kind of be involved in that, using this platform to raise awareness and do things like that. Just with the time we have, are there any other things that we can be on the lookout for, that we can just kind of, try to beat the table for as it relates to what you guys are doing?
Oh, thank you. I guess just continue to spread the word. So whether it's cancer.org or the 800 number, we're always available. So, and if you're looking for a way to get involved, whether it's donating dollars, fundraising, driving patients to treatment, the ways in which to get involved to impact cancer are creative. There's many. There's things we already have. There's things you might come up with. Let's collaborate. Let's do it together, because none of this happens alone. So.
Yeah, and being here with BCAM and Coaches versus Cancer, can you give us a quick reminder of what that platform has been like and what that outlook is with the Coaches versus Cancer people?
Yeah, so BCAM has been a leader in pulling together this and messaging to coaches that, hey, you could do something as simple as set aside a game to be a Coaches versus Cancer game, which brings the community together, gets the players engaged, and then set a dollar amount of fundraising you want to do, and honor survivors, honor caregivers. So it seems simple, but collectively, just in the state of Michigan, 42 high schools got involved, hosted a game,
Really?
raised $130,000 collectively,
Really?
and we can keep adding to that.
You
Use
may
your
see it.
platform. Use your platform.
You may see the brain going through that. I'm glad that we got a chance to meet. I'm glad we got a chance to talk, and that we can use this to put a good word out. And I guarantee this won't be the last time you hear from SPS and what we have.
I would love that. Thank you much.
Any final shout outs before you go?
Oh, just again, I think to BCAM and to all the coaches and schools that get involved with us. There's so many even that we don't know. Again, it's a volunteer-driven organization. So when I say the American Cancer Society, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about everybody. Like, we are the American Cancer Society. And granted, we're a national organization fighting this at a huge level and at a grassroots level. That's what I love so much about this organization, and we're collaborating and convening people.
I feel very empowered by this conversation.
Thank you, me too.
And you're a great ambassador for American Cancer Society.
Thank you.
So with that being said, this is Lindsay Hellis at BCAM. We're talking about some great things to help you going forward, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.